So, I was talking to a friend the other day about this very subject and how incredibly hard it can be for us to ask for help or to accept help from others when we are so hyper independent. And that actually stems from an inner child wound within us. And I can only speak to it because I've suffered from it myself very much for most of my life as well, where there's some kind of thing that wasn't fulfilled, could have been from parents or family, friends, where we just weren't taken care of in some form or fashion. It could be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, where we couldn't rely on people. And so the only thing that we can rely on is ourselves. And you turn into somebody who has to do everything for themselves. If somebody wants to help you, it's kind of like, nah, if it's going to be done, it needs to be done right. And the only person that can do it right is me. And so you constantly just push people away and push off help and push off guidance and push off people giving to you because you don't need anything, because whenever you try to rely on somebody else, you've always been let down. So then you become increasingly hyper independent. And where I've struggled with this myself is at the times where I really needed help, or I really needed some guidance, to not ask for it because I felt like I didn't have anybody to have my back. I didn't have anybody who would help me in the way that I really needed help. But that's how you show up for people as well, because you understand what it's like to be alone, and you understand what it's like to not have any support or not have any backup. So you try to provide that. But when it comes to accepting it yourself, you usually shun it away, you push it away. And I think as we heal our inner child, and we know that we are moving from a place that's heart-centered, where we're not malicious, you're not manipulating anybody, you don't need anything from anybody. When you move that way in your life, it then becomes okay to ask for help, because people do want to give to you. They understand your value, they understand your worth, they understand what you offer to them, oftentimes selflessly, because you don't need anything from them, because you're used to not asking for help. You do everything yourself. So I think it's important for us to start to heal that within ourselves of this hyper independence. A lot of times it's also toxic masculinity within ourselves, gender neutral, man, woman, they, whoever it is. That masculine energy that feels like, nah, I got it. Only I can do it, or only I know the way, or I'm the boss, I'm in charge, this is how things need to be done. To investigate within ourselves where that actually stems from, and then is it actually true for us, and does it actually serve us, and does it actually serve the people around us? Because there's been many times in my life where it's been really hard, and I've had to bow down and be like, you know what, I actually do need some help. And in those moments, the people around me were readily available to offer something and to help me out. And even then, it was still hard to accept it. But that type of support and that type of love around you being like available without you having to feel like you have to do everything yourself is incredibly healing. And it also bonds you in connection with others around you without you feeling so isolated and alone, because it's actually a trauma response that is from a deep wounded inner child within us. And I think it's something I am very challenged with, but I am working on. And if you relate to this and you are, a good-hearted person and you do your best to take care of people, when things are really, really tough for you, I encourage you to try to be more open and available to people outside of you, giving you help and offering you help without feeling guilt or shame about it. Because that's also what comes with being hyper independent, is when you actually need help, you feel guilty about asking for help. And that's not necessarily true. And so, that was just random thoughts that I wanted to share with you all in case you relate to that as well. And hope you enjoy your day.